Meanwhile, in clearly like the most disturbing news of the day, Peng Shuai, Chinese tennis star, has now denied making any claims of having been sexually assaulted by a retired Communist Party leader in China after having been effectively disappeared for a significant period of time. She put out a statement saying, "I have never spoken or written about anyone sexually assaulting me." These are her first comments to international media since she initially made the claim and then disappeared from public view for some time. She says, "I want to emphasize something that is very important. I have never said that I wrote that anyone sexually assaulted me. I need to emphasize this point very clearly." And when asked if she had been able to move freely or was concerned about her safety, Peng said she had always been free and that she has been living at her home in Beijing. So back on November 2nd, she had made a claim about the former vice premier of China having forcing her to have sex. That post disappeared, then she disappeared, and now she is repeatedly assuring you that it never happened and she never claimed it. Francesca?
It's chilling, and it's not the first time that it's happened. I mean, early on in the pandemic, people who were talking about it were also visited and disappeared. I mean, it is a totalitarian state. It is not good. And I think that it's important, especially as progressives, to remember that the way to stop this, if you care, is actually to support the people of China and not via any kind of military action or intervention or participating in this BS cyber war rhetoric that both Republicans and Democrats love to talk about, right? It's like by solidarity, people to people, and it doesn't have to happen at the end of a gun or any kind of military aggression. It's just, I hate the way these kinds of stories get weaponized to like appeal to, again, like a liberal interventionism that is just so wrong, So
yeah. Well, that type of interventionism or the right wanting to collect a throne of Chinese skulls, as they say on Fox News. We don't need either of those. My only other point. So first of all, I just my soul aches for what she's been through. Like she was the victim, and then in being incredibly courageous and actually pointing it out, I cannot conceive of what she has been through since that happened. I don't think that any of us can, but it is almost certainly horrifying. Not just personally, what has either been done to her or threatened to be done to her, theoretically, but God only knows what they've said about what they would do to other people that she knows, family or friends or anything like that. The only other point I'll make is, how the hell could you think that this makes your regime look better? This, like, having the rape would be terrible for the reputation of your regime. Having that, it's already out, by the way. And then also the disappearance and the clearly coerced statement makes you look so much worse as a regime. Any final thoughts?
No, just that actually they don't care. That's the thing about China, is they're not that concerned with their PR or like it being a bad look. Like they're not really concerned about, hey, we've got drones following people back to their homes to tell them to go inside. Like, they don't really care. They're fine with that. Which is it's awful.
Well, that was all. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.